Hello again, guys. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another round of racing with the Midnight Oil Racing League's GT7 Championship. This being Season 3. We're now into Round 8, so slowly wrapping up this season. We got 3 more rounds to go, so obviously 10 rounds in this season. We are now at Dragon Trail Raceway, Dragon Trail Seaside. So we'll have a quick rundown through the standings coming into this round. We've got Too Fast at the top of the table on 267 points. Eyes Chant now 6 points behind with 261. We've got Thomas on 245. Mawson's in 4th with 213. Dan Bailey in 5th with 182. Pickle is in 6th with 176. We've got Blood in 7th with 170. Vexed is in 8th with 163. Chuck now 9th with 138. Asbo in 10th with 121. Jerry's in 11th with 115. Clutch in 12th with 100 points. And Danny Jones still on 5. Dirty Dub still yet to score any points. So, after qualifying, Thomas managed to put the Ferrari on pole. Blood Diamond will line up in 2nd place. We've got Wenny G starting in 3rd. Mawson will start in 4th. Pickle in 5th. Clutch in 6th. Dan Bailey in 7th. Vexed in 8th. We've got Jerry in 9th. And Asbo lines up in 10th place. So let's get into this first race of the evening. Obviously 2 25-minute races in this series. Second race being a reverse grid. The lights are out, they are off. Wenny G getting a very good getaway there. Thomas bogged down off the start. Thomas drops 3 positions, now down to 3rd. He's trying to cover off Vexed, who also got a good start in the background there, up to 4th place for Vexed. We also have Dan Bailey in the mix there. Dan Bailey trying to go around the outside, it looked like, of Vexed there in 4th place. We've got Dan Bailey! Dan Bailey has a moment on the curb and he's off. Oh, he's going to lose so many positions there. Mawson manages to move through. Clutch up to 5th now. The Clutch looking quick in that R8 is Mawson. Mawson goes for a move up the inside into the tight right-hander. Manages to stay alongside on the exit. Looks like Clutch actually getting the better getaway there. He's going to be on the inside for this next snaky sector, the Center S. So Mawson has to duck back in behind. And this, yeah, it can be a very tricky part of the track, this one. Also another curb that can unsettle the car on the exit up the hill. So Jerry now in 7th place. We've got a move being made in the background. That's Pickle getting the move done on Asbo. Asbo in the Z4. The nimble little BMW. The BMW that could. And Dan Bailey only a second and a half, maybe a couple of seconds back at this stage. After that moment, Asbo very tentative through the chicane as Pickle's into the barrier. Pickle will lose positions now. Dan Bailey into the back of Pickle there. What happened there? Oh, we all go back and have a look at that quickly. So Dan Bailey, he actually got a little bit squirrely on the exit. Couldn't find his way around the outside of Pickle. Actually gave Pickle a bit of a boost there, but he's going to lose a second or 2 because of that. And now Pickle alongside Asbo. Pickle has a look around the outside, the long way round. Pickle is going to, Asbo, sorry, is going to have the inside line. The better line through the turn. Doesn't get the better exit though. Pickle all over his rear bumper once again. Going to be pushing them along the straights. They have lost some time though to Jerry Smiles ahead and Clutch. Clutch down to 6th now. So we've got Mawson on the back of Vex. Mawson really starting to pressure Vex in the Supra. Vexed in that Citroen GT. Oh, Mawson getting as much of that curve as he possibly could there on the entry. Vexed getting the better exit. But it looks like Mawson has more momentum as they come up the hill. Is going to go for a move here into the hard braking zone for the right-hander. The approach to the chicane of death. In fact, no, he wasn't quite close enough. So Blood Diamond still leads in the Mercedes. Slight graze of the wall there. Wayne G in 2nd place. Thomas in third. And Vex still holding on to fourth at the moment. We've got Mawson there in fifth. Is Mawson going to be able to go for a move into turn one? He might have the run as they come down the start-finish. Oh no, looks like Wayne G ahead. Looking a little bit racy. Will he be able to go for a move on Blood Diamond? Blood Diamond covers the inside for the next turn. I think that last little kink was officially turn one, so this would be two. Wayne G does get a move done though, up into first place now for Wayne G. Too fast for use. Oh, Blood Diamond! Blood Diamond just spun it up on the exit there. That was unlucky for Blood. I think, yeah, just getting a bit too eager on the throttle. And yeah, just a bit of a snap of oversteer there, off onto the grass. He's going to lose that position to Vex now as well, and manages to keep it. But Vex and Mawson very close in the background there. So Blood down into third place now. Too fast up to first. Thomas up to second. Oh, there we go. Vex having a look now. Will he be able to get a move done on Blood Diamond? No, Blood Diamond managed to shut the door, which has brought Mawson back into the picture now. Mawson all over the rear of that Citroen. Sat right under the rear wing. It looked like Blood's maybe getting slightly worse. Let's go there. I think actually Mawson giving Vex a bit of a bump draft down the straight. Oh, and Mawson manages to get a move done on both Blood and Vex. I don't know where that came from. Tiny bit of contact there, but clean for the most part. Up into third place now. So Vex now has to sit behind Blood Diamond. Blood Diamond has to try and retake that position. He's on the medium. So we have a look at what tyres everyone's running. Oh, Thomas getting a move done into the final turn there. Up into first place. Wendy down to second now. So a battle heating up for first place into lap 4. Wayne G manages to move back up into the lead. Thomas back down to second now, but Thomas tries to have a look into the first chicane. Couldn't quite manage to get it done, but maybe has the better exit here. Wayne G not actually driving too defensively either. He's just trying to keep it consistent. Maybe trying not to work them tyres too much. Thomas does look very strong, or he's looked very strong all season in that Ferrari. As has Wayne G in the Dodge Viper. So will Thomas attempt to move? Oh, there we go. We see a defensive move thrown by Wayne G. Covers the inside off and then has to move back over to the racing line. Thomas wasn't quite close enough to go for the move there anyway. Maybe looking for the switchback now. Will he start trying to pressure Wayne G into the chicane of death? Trying to force him into an error. Both getting through there nicely. Maybe he's going to look for the move again into the final turn. Will Wayne G cover off the inside? And in fact, maybe Thomas not quite close enough to go for the move that time round, or maybe trying to save his tyres. And talking of tyres, Wayne G is on the mediums, Thomas on the mediums, Mawson also running mediums, as is Blood Diamond, as is Vexed, as is Clutch. So I think pretty much everyone going for the mediums in the first race. Jerry Smiles also on the mediums. In fact, Asbo there on the soft compound tyre. So he will probably go for the mediums or the hards for his second stint. Dan Bailey on mediums and Pickle on the mediums. So it looks like the fight between Wayne G and Thomas has calmed down for the minute. Wayne G's managed to find a couple of tenths, or maybe a tenth and a half. A little bit of breathing space. As I say that, Thomas starts to close once again, maybe looking for the move into this right-hander. Not quite close enough, but does close up under braking. 2 tenths purple for Wayne G. Thomas currently with the fastest lap, 1:39.6. I imagine sat in the slip there. Thomas will also be putting in purple sectors. Clips the barrier on the exit there. That's unlucky. Thomas is going to lose a 10th at least. Slight little brush with the barrier. Is Wayne G going to be able to steal the fastest lap? And he does. Wayne G does take the fastest lap there, 1:39.3. Thomas's fastest, 1:39.5. So obviously with that slight graze of the wall there. Oh wait, Vext down into 7th place now. What happened to Vext? Maybe, yeah, it's got to be through the chicane. So what happened there? Did he catch up with Blood? It looks like catching up with Blood again. Maybe. Oh, there we go. See a little tap of the barrier there. Oh, and into the inside barrier. Going to lose that place to Clutch. Going to lose the place to Jerry. That is how Vext ended up where he is. Blood Diamond holds on to that 4th place for the minute. Oh, loses the place to Mawson. Mawson up into 3rd place. Big slide through the final turn from Mawson. Keeps that Supra in a straight line. I think the top two too far away at this stage, but not yet to the pit stop, so maybe Mawson can start to reel him in. Look at the time though that Jason has lost. I think Jason having a moment through the chicane of death. He's going to be starting to suffer with a bit of understeer. The front tyres of that Mercedes looking a little bit second-hand now. But we all know that about the FRs this season. The front rear cars all seem to suffer with quite heavy front tyre wear. The mid rears are a bit more even all round. And actually you can hold on to them quite well. You can make them last quite a long time. So Clutch is now up into 5th place in that Audi R8, looking to try and score some decent points in this round. Jerry now 6th. We have Vext in 7th. Vext starting to catch Jerry. Actually putting in personal best sectors there as well. Is he going to make it through the chicane this time? And he does. Oh, Clutch maybe having a moment there. Let's have a look what happened to Clutch. So Clutch gets the entry right. It's this exit. I want to go there. That inside wall claiming another victim. Vext soars around the outside now, up into 6th place. Jerry up into 5th. So Jerry having a good race in that Hyundai, however you want to call it. He's having a decent outing in this round, and again also another car that suffers very heavily with the front tyre wear. You can still see Blood Diamond ahead, so not too far off. So Vex now back into 6th place with a nice bit of a gap back to Clutch. Clutch, however, does look quick in that R8 around Seaside. And actually looking like he is starting to close the gap to the Citroen ahead, driven by Vex. So maybe able to steal that position. Dan Bailey on a recovery drive. Back up to 8th place. Can he make up any more positions in this race? I think we're slowly approaching the pit window, so we may start to see some people dive into the pits as those tyres do look worse for wear now than softs. almost ready to drop off a cliff. He's got to be starting to feel the understeer a bit. Oh, just a bit of a graze of the barrier on the exit there. Let's wait and see if he decides to pit this time around. No, he doesn't. So that front left is going to be completely dead by the end of this lap. It'll be interesting to see if he makes it through the chicane towards the end of lap 7. So Pickle, not sure what happened to Pickle on the racing hard. Oh, so Pickle actually going for a pit stop, early pit stop, getting rid of the mediums onto the hards now. Will he be able to take him to the end of the race though? Has he got enough fuel? Has some way to get onto the back of the rest of the cars. And Thomas has closed up to Winnie G once again, goes for a move. Does manage to get it done that time. Is Winnie G going to keep his boot in, or is he going to concede? So he does dip under the wing of the Ferrari, grazes the barrier there. Through the middle part of the chicane, actually losing a tenth or two. Gives Thomas a little flash of the lights. Thomas back up into the lead of the race. Oh, Wadey G having to go up the inside there. Looked like he might have been close enough to get a move done. Wasn't quite close enough. Had to slam the brakes on. Or had to damp the brakes. Bleed off a bit of speed. Thomas closed the door firmly. Wadey G still with the fastest lap at the moment. 1:39.3. That may check. Oh, so Vexed into the pits now. End of lap 9, or end of lap 8, start lap 9. But Dan Bailey now up to 7th place. So Thomas's tyres, it looks like he's been looking after his tyres in the wake of Wayne G in the Dodge Viper. Has Wayne G got enough in the mediums to be able to retake that position before the pit stop? I think they're going to be pitting in the next lap or two. I fancy at the end of this lap. Molson. He's got a couple of seconds now with blood. You can still see him in his rear view, but not close enough to pose any danger at the moment. Molson having an absolutely great race at the moment. Can he reel in the top 2? You can just about see him going around the final turn. Definitely making some headway in this race. So staying out for another lap, as did the top 2. So managing to make their tanks last for 10 laps or more. Blood Diamond does have to dive into the pits, as does Jerry Clutch, Dan Bailey. So how many positions can Vex make up here? Oh, and it looks like Vexed has gone onto the medium tyre. Is that an error there? Is he going to have to go into the pit? He does. So Vexed with a strategical error, mashing buttons when he went into the pits, completely effed up. He's now got to put on a set of softs. Perhaps I should have taken a quali ban for the next race, or for the next round, but yeah. Decided to dive in, put the correct compound on, or put another compound on other than the mediums. Having to fuel up now as well. Will I lose the position to Pickle? I think Pickle, yeah, just about comes through there. So Vext has now finished refueling his car. And loses the position to Asbo. Asbo around the outside there. Into turn 1. And Vex down to 10th. Plum last now. think the guys ahead have already pit as well. Oh no, so the top two now diving into the pits. Thomas on 0% fuel. He was running on fuel and fumes. Mawson follows them in. And I think the guys ahead of them have actually pit now, so it's going to be quite hard for Vext and Asbo to be able to catch them. Oh, tiny bit of contact there. I think Asbo tried to turn in a bit more. Wasn't sure where Vex was. Vex getting the position up the inside. Can he keep it nicely through the chicane? Dyson with death there with that inside wall. Very close indeed. And Pickle not too far ahead as well. May be able to salvage another position in this race. Aided by the fresh softs. Pickle on racing hards. So we've got Dan Bailey now onto the back of Clutch. Clutch currently 6th in the R8. Oh, Dan Bailey's closed up a lot. Puts in a purple sector. Will he be able to find the move on the Audi? "18 minutes into this race." So 7 minutes and change left. Dan Bailey still putting in purple sectors. Will he be able to take the fastest lap? Still held currently by Wayne G. You would imagine the top guys are going to start putting in some faster times on the soft compound tyre. And they're going to be younger as well, with the top 3 pitting a lap later than everybody else. So we go Blood Diamond with a 1:38.3. And what's Dan Bailey's time going to be? 1:39.3, so a second slower. But 7/10ths up on his previous best. Does have a look up the inside now. Is he close enough to be able to get a move done on Clutch? No, he isn't quite close enough. Clutch getting through the first chicane nicely there. Keeps a bit of time over Dan. Dan closing up on the exit. Surely not going to look for a move here through this left-hander. Maybe through this next one. No, can't quite get it done. So Clutch will remain in 6th place for the minute. Jerry still currently 5th. Jerry getting back into the groove of it. So Blood a little bit closer than he was before to Mawson. Not close enough to start picking up the slip just yet. He has just taken the fastest lap. Can he continue this pace though? Them softs dying a bit of a death already. Actually looking like he lost a bit of time there through the final turn. Gap seemingly increased. There is a fair bit of a gap back to Jerry as well. How close is Thomas to Wayne G? Oh, look how much of a gap now Wayne G has over the Ferrari of Thomas. Can Thomas close that gap? Thomas has taken the fastest lap now with a 1:37.7. Wayne G looking like he's unstoppable at the moment in this first race. If he finishes here, he's going to have to start in 10th for the second. So yeah, the battle for the top 4 has calmed down a fair bit. Clutch has started to reel in Jerry. What tyres is Jerry? Jerry is on the softs. So Vexed up to 8th now. He must have got a move done somewhere on Pickle. Pickle looking like he's going very slowly indeed. He's going to lose position to Asbo as well. What happened to Pickle? Asbo very close to Pickle still, maybe able to get the position. Wayne G still with a nice gap over Thomas. Thomas has started to reel him in. Still with the fastest lap. And Mawson a little way back. He looked like he was going to start reeling the top 2 in at one stage, but I think now just trying to get that Supra home in 3rd place. That's going to be some decent points and a step on the podium there for Mawson. 23 minutes in, so just under 2 minutes left. Blood Diamond 4th, and Clutch has managed to get past Jerry up into 5th place. Jerry looks very close still though. Has he got an answering move for Clutch? We've got Dan Bailey looming in the background there as well in 7th place. So Dan Bailey, after that moment at the start, having quite a good comeback race, making up a few positions. Clutch getting through the chicane nicely. I don't think he's got quite long enough to close the gap to Blood ahead. But he looks pretty comfortable out there at the moment. And Jerry smiles. Has Jerry lost some time through the chicane? Dan Bailey all over the back of that Audi now. The back of the Hyundai, sorry. Does manage to go for the move. Pulls through up into 6th place. And pulling quite a gap over Jerry already. Does better Dan Bailey. Can he close up to Clutch though? .24.5 minutes in. Final lap is going to be called any minute. And this is why I believe it should be a lap race next season, but we'll see how it goes. Unfortunately, with the time races, not everybody getting to finish the final lap. And it is now the final lap, so it looks like Wenny G may have done enough to be able to take the win here in the first race. We'll have to wait and see though, we've still got a final turn to come. We've seen how quick Thomas is through that final turn as well. Thomas does look for the inside. Is going to be close enough. And wasn't close enough in the end to be able to set one up. Maybe getting the better exit though. Is it going to be a drag race to the start finish? Yeah, can't quite put alongside. So Wayne G does take the win there. Thomas finishes in 2nd place. Mawson with the 3rd step on the podium. GG Mawson. Blood Diamond gonna finish 4th in the end after that great start he had. Clutch. Possibly Clutch's best result this season so far. GG's Clutch, 5th place. Dan Bailey finishing in 6th. Jerry Smiles will finish in 7th. Vexed, errors were made, having to go in for a 2nd pit and put on a set of softs. Finishes 8th. Asbo, only the final turn to go. Going to be starting towards the front though in the 2nd race of the evening. Asbo finishes in 9th there. Pickle don't know what happened to Pickle. He does have damage on that car though, slides it across the line in 10th place. Well, that was it for the first race. We'll be back with the second race shortly. I will see you there. I've been your boy Vex. It's been the Midnight Oil Racing League. Goodbye.